Am I live? Can you hear me? Karen? Maybe I should type it. Oh, well, I wish I could type. Karen, can you hear me? Oh, you used to be a computer guru? Well, all of a sudden, YouTube, I can't get access to it on my TV like I normally do. And I have tried no less than 25 times to get this live scheduled and to try to come on. Ben Bacon Bits, Professor Kakan. Hello. So I'm so frustrated, but I'm glad you're here and I'm glad we can make this work. And fingers crossed it doesn't die on me. I have no idea what's been going on. So, I mean, it causes your anxiety when you know you're trying to go live and everything's blowing up. But greetings and salutations. And happy August 11th before our magical, mystical solar eclipse tomorrow and all the planets aligning, I think, tomorrow. And I'm really hoping, I forgot, hang on, I got to check real quick. I think where I am, I might be able to see, not the true alignment because you got to be somewhere else, but Scotty Boy is in the house. Scotty Boy, I actually looked for you last night on Victor's channel. I thought, I haven't seen Scotty Boy in a dog's age. So happy to see you here, my friend. You've been missed. Okay, let me just bring this back so I don't forget my train of thought. And, so anyway, it's been a moment. I think energetically, everything is all muffled up. Body illusion. Lucy's in the house. Hello, Lucy. The dogs have been going not well. They're not feeling good. The kitty cat's not feeling very well. And she's pushing my patience. The first time in 4+ years, I actually yelled, not at her in the room about her, but I wouldn't yell at her because she can't control it. But I was like, I'm losing my mind. I'm really losing my mind. So, and then I have, it's kind of like a bookshelf in my kitchen. I don't really have cabinetry in my kitchen. So I used a bookshelf, and I had one of these Poland Spring water containers with a spigot that you can pull out and fill up a glass. Well, I haven't used it recently, and apparently it decided to melt and implode, and it went everywhere yesterday. And I just was like, I'm being tested. I'm being tested with patience and kindness, and I was beside myself. It took until almost, well, I went on Victor's channel, so until about 9:45, 9:30, I finally stopped picking up everything, but I had to, anyway. The energy in the world is topsy-turvy. Let's see. Oh, you're not well either? Oh, I'm so sorry, Karen. I'm sending you so much love and light. Feel better, and I'm sorry about your kitty. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. At least it was only water and not something sticky. Oh, amen, sister. Although it did hit things and made sticky stuff, but I've been talking about cleaning anyway. And that's why I kind of laughed when this was happening. I'm like, all right, I got your message, God, or angels, or guides, or whoever. I said I wanted to get motivated, and I had no choice but to do it. I was like, Richard's here. Hello and blessings to you, Richard. So, I'll start, in a moment. I just wanted to check in with you guys and say hello, and hello to the replay crew. Thank you so much for being here. I'm your host, Teresa, I was going to say discombobulated, but I'm going to watch my words much more carefully, and you will see why as we talk about this today and the human body. It is beautiful here in New England. Yes, it's over 80 degrees. There's a breeze and it's dry, which, yes, I can't take the dogs out, from like 12:30 to 6 because the pavement's too hot, but it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, Karen, just listen, sweetheart, because I think this is going to help. I do. I really do. It is about changing the chemistry in our brain, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk to. I'm going to preface this again, and I was going to try to scroll a message, but since I couldn't get this dang thing working, and YouTube might kick me out again, I'm not a medical professional. This is all my own research that I have done from a simple perspective so that I could understand how my body, how my thoughts, how the words impact how I'm feeling. Because you have so many people, so many creators, so many charlatans that are telling us, oh, just do this and you're going to be great, or just think this thought and you're going to get all the money in the world, and just. The just doesn't work, right? So partly what I really want to focus on, I'm going to do a little high level, and then I'll tie it up with the August theme. Echoes in the house. She's driving and listening. Thank you, sweetheart. Drive carefully. I'm guessing Richard's probably going to be driving in a minute anyway. So everybody just be well, and we accept your greetings and well wishes, and be safe. So where do I want to start? It's the story. Okay. So let's talk about the whole human body. It's made up of cells, and those cells organize into tissues, which form organs, which work together in systems, all held together by fluids and vessels and electrical communication, right? So partly and you guys may all know this, so forgive me if I'm telling you stuff but I needed to have this dumbed down to me so that I could understand and have some takeaways as I work on healing my body. So our cells are the tiny little building blocks. Think of foundations for our contractor fella, right? So everything starts with the cells. They're the little worker bees, and their job is muscle cell contact, nerve cells that send signals, blood cells that carry oxygen, skin cells that protect us. And we have trillions of them, which I did not know. And so they're grouped together. Are you familiar with at Farrell Cheryl on the Loose? She is a Reiki practitioner in Clearwater. I am also a Reiki practitioner. That's what I'm going to talk about today. But and I know who she is from Scientology. So yes, I do know who she is. Her dad was a Scientology. Yes, I do know her. I have followed her and Aaron. Yes, and she's happily coupled at the moment. So yes, I do know her. So the tissues, groups of cells working together, right? So that's movement, it's communication, it's structure, it's covering our skin and protecting us. And I'm not here to play doctor to tell us all the different things, but just at a high level. The organs, which heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, stomach, skin, brain, maybe something else. Each organ has a specific job. And um, uh, it these systems all have a purpose. And we know this. So I don't want to go into all of them. I think everybody could probably do a little research, and I can always go into detail at some point if somebody wants, because I did all the research. But the electricity is the body's communication system, right? So every heartbeat is an electrical signal. Every thought is electrical, and every muscle contraction starts with electricity. Oh, okay, Ben. He always has to be sassy pants. Cells are bad. My uncle lives in a cell. It's 10 foot by 12. And he has to read the same boring old magazines every day. Thank you, Ben. I was hoping that you'd be more supportive. Sassy pants. So when we talk about this, I want to think about, the powerful bridge between biology and energy work. And so when I think about these things, right? Tiny cells, I'm trying to think of that. We all have specific tasks, right? The cells, muscles, nerve, blood, tissues, muscle, nervous, connective. I can't say this word. I'm going to try it, but it's epithelial. And then organs, everything, and then the systems, there are 11 major body systems. I don't need to go into all of them, but I'm sorry, I'm shaking here. I don't know why the computer is shaking. Hold on. But I like to think of it when I talk about we have control in our thoughts and in our words and what we have done and what we don't do. And Richard may be laughing, and anybody that's a Catholic may be laughing. That is a Catholic. What do you want to call it? Hang on. There's a word for it. Penitential act, right? It's like a confession. But that's not how I mean it here. But you're fighting the urge. Oh, just go ahead. So what I mean by that, Karen, is, and we've talked about this, our thoughts and our words have power. What we do or don't do has power. It can influence our physical body. And I'm going to talk about the brain in a minute, but I just want to incorporate how energy work, Reiki, blends with our human biology, because for me, that's where the magic comes in, right? The human body has this physical operating system, the organs, the tissues, the blood, the energetic operating system, frequency flow. And it's, oh, excuse me. So for me, it's very core to who we are and what we talk about, what we think about. So I have some notes, so I don't want to lose my way, but I also don't. Let me just get back to where I want to be, because I have my notes and I write them for a reason. So, Reiki. Richard. Oh, goodness. When the energy settles in the body, well, I'm going to change that. Energy settles the body. The brain receives the signals like we're safe, we can relax, we can repair. This shifts the brain out of fight, flight, freeze, and into rest, digest, heal, right? With me so far? But Reiki can change the brain's electrical activity because energy work can shift the brain waves, the sensory processing, emotional interpretation, and fear. Thank you, Karen, just for letting me know. And it the brain is like an organizer, and we're going to talk about the brain in a minute. But Reiki influences the heart's electromagnetic field. The heart sends more signals to the brain than anything else. So when the Reiki harmonizes the heart field, the brain receives coherence and calm and balance. It improves our intuition, right? It our clarity, our emotional regulation, our connection. We're not so anxious and high level. It inter it interacts with our body sensory web, our skin, the fascia, which is full of nerve endings and fluid, right? So when energy moves through it, it releases the tension. It shifts. Nerves calm, circulation improves, you feel relief. Your brain interprets it as relief and safety and openness and grounding. And the Reiki supports this brain's healing mode. And when the brain feels safe, it activates immune system, tissue healing, hormone balancing. Well, not so much when you're menopausal, but that's a whole different medical discussion. Emotional processing and cellular regeneration. Energy creates the conditions for the brain to do its best work. Capiche? You with me on this, guys? So when I talk about, hang on, fight, flight, freeze, faint, fawn, my default used to fawn. My default has morphed into fight. Interesting. So fight comes from a lot of different places. So I'm not an expert in that, but I know that if you can, well, we're going to talk about it, so I don't want to jump. Bear with me, and I hope to come back to that. That's right, Karen. That's where I'm going to go. So the art for August, the harvester, right? That's what's this month's archetype. Integrating that with the human body and energy, it's like the moment where everything that we've either learned or practiced, healed, and shifted begins to take form inside the body. So, what I would say to you is the harvester is the archetype where your physical body and your energetic body finally meet. They come together. I know Carmel would probably break out the tunes and the Beatles, but so the physical body, you know, it's our energy levels, it's our digestion, it's our sleep, it's our stress responses, it's our muscle tension, it's our breathing pattern, and all our harvests. They reveal what we've been planting all year long. It's where I've been trying to focus all year long, well, for multiple years. And so the body is always harvesting our habits. Twisted Sick. Holy, I don't know this one. Sergey Eugene. Holy Spirit, holy blessings to all, sending unconditional okie dokie. Welcome. I don't know you. So energetically, August reveals what we've been holding, what we've been avoiding, what we've been nurturing, what we've been healing, what we've been suppressing, and what are we expanding, right? So Reiki, meditation, breath work, grounding, all of these practices, including prayer, energy doesn't lie. So the brain the brain is processing this, right? So the survival signals. What feels safe? What feels draining? Our emotional signals. Where do we feel aligned? What feels aligned? What feels heavy? The cognitive signals, which, well, what makes sense now? What needs to change? And so for this month, the archetype of harvester is the moment where the brain finally says, I see the truth now, because the body has shown it. So that's sort of the woo-woo-ness of it all, right? And when we think about our solar plexus, or our, excuse me, our chakras, I had solar plexus on the mind, um, and the endocrine system, it's they're all interconnected. So let me take a break. Let me have a little sip. Let me just check the comments to see if I've missed anything. Oh, I wanted to talk about the brain for a second. So when we talk about the brain, right? The brain does three things. Okay? It can't process everything that's coming at it. So it has the survival signals, it has the emotional signals, and it has the cognitive signals. You've seen it here. Um, so the brain does what does it do first, right? It's those core things it does. It tells you to breathe. It works on your heart rate, blood pressure, danger, pain, balance, temperature. The emotional signals would be next. That's what it processes next. So fear, joy, sadness, if you're overwhelmed, if you're lacking connection, intuition, and then the cognitive signals, which are sort of on the lower end of the totem pole for the brain, believe it or not, would be thinking, planning, remembering, decision making. This is why people can't think clearly when they're stressed. The brain is prioritizing survival over logic. And I only can think of movies. You know, how many times in a movie have we seen somebody, we're like, just run. Because we're not the one experiencing that. The person who's in that stressed place, fight or flight. Um, and so you stop. The brain sends instructions down through the body. It's just how it works. It's our supercomputer. And I even hate equating anything to a computer. But once the brain interprets one of those signals, it sends a command. So it sends a command to the nerves, which are our electrical messages, our hormones, which are chemical messages, and autonomic nervous systems, right? There are automatic responses. So they regulate all of these other areas that we've just talked about, the heart rate, the digestion, the breathing, the muscle tension. But the brain creates the experience of the body. And that's the core here for me, right? You don't feel your body directly. You feel your brain's interpretation of your body. Uh-oh. Uh, Never seen anyone. Oh, I didn't do it. You did. Uh-oh. Defaults towards safety and consistency over accuracy as well. Well, that's the truth. Um, but pain is the brain's interpretation of danger. Anxiety is the brain's interpretation of threat. Calm is the brain's interpretation of safety, and intuition is the brain's interpretation of the subtle signals. So the brain is constantly translating the body into an experience. So the energy of Reiki weaves its way through. And I always, for people that I've talked to in the past on this channel and in life, I talk about Reiki as being the state trooper on the highway, right? He's the patrol car. He's going to zoom past to an emergency, or he's going to break up traffic, or he's pulling you over. We, the people, we're the traffic jam in our own bodies. And so we need to be policed to relax our bodies so we can be more receptive to healing, to thought, to breath. And we can't do that when we're in the hyper focused or when Teresa's driving like two-fisted on the steering wheel, looking at every mirror like she's crazy and thinking, do I move over to the right to get into the slow lane? Do I stay in the middle? Do I go over to the left and pass everybody that's annoying me? That's what we do to our bodies. The active meditation, the active Reiki, it is to create a safe space. Clint is in the house. Well, hello, Clint. I saw Clint last night. That sounded inappropriate, Clint. I'm sorry. I saw him on Victor's channel. Sorry, guys. That came out a little saucy. So when energy settles in the body, we can receive those signals to then take action in our thoughts, in our words, in what we do, and what we don't do. One of the things that I have learned through prayer, through energy work, through more experienced, enlightened souls, especially when I'm not always feeling myself, is to say, I am well. And I love that song. I know I've told you guys about this guy before. Every single cell inside my body, every single cell is happy and well. Every single cell inside my body, every single cell is happy and well. I'm so glad every single cell in my body is happy and well. I'm not going to sing it, but that's the song. And what I like about it is even if you don't feel well, telling your body you're well and almost thinking your body you're well will then generate wellness because we're changing the chemistry in our brain that says, I feel like crap today. Every single day now, I do that song when I first wake up. I know it sounds funny, but my body has been through it. My mind's been through it too. I want to change that conversation. And look, I sometimes have the vocabulary of I don't know, why do people say truckers? I don't know that many truckers that curse as badly as I can. But one of the things that I'm trying to do is say, wait, why am I so angry? So the cat pooped where she wasn't supposed to. She had to go. She didn't feel good. She did it in a very inconvenient space for me in the middle of a crisis. Why am I getting all riled up? People on the street, whatever the situation is, a conversation with someone I recently had at the dog park. That seems to be my social circle. And I was getting riled up by the fact that other dog owners are not picking up their dog's poop. Glamorous, I know. The point was, why am I getting so worked up? People are inconsiderate. Well, I always say to us, reverse the mirror. Am I being inconsiderate? Am I walking a mile in someone else's shoe? Maybe they didn't see it. I find it hard to believe because some of these dogs could give a horse a rival. You know what I'm saying? And Marines cuss way more than the sailors. Well, I'll have to take your word for it. That's what my t-shirt says. Where I come from, it's cuss like a sailor. Okay, well, I'll take it because it's okay, sorry. She saw me. Hope. Okay, you guys. So yes, if we change the wording. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. I know a lot of people that are going through a lot of things. And people I don't know. That's why I send you with love, light, and healing and compassion. Because I don't know your personal pain. Some of you I do, but not in great detail. But if we change the language of I feel well, I am well, thank you for me being well, thank you for my, great medical test result being positive in the way that I want it to be positive. You know what I'm saying? Act as if it's already happened. Manifesting, they say, well, if you say it's true, it's true. Yes, but you also have to take action. I can't just say, well, I'm going to manifest a Mercedes in my driveway without going out to work to get the Mercedes. We're not in I Dream of Jeannie where I can just, and you all have what you need. And that is the key here, right? Yes, it's hard, Karen, to pick up your grateful journal when you're not feeling grateful. And so it's turning everything around. It's finding that point that makes you grateful. What makes you grateful? It is a beautiful sunny day. I'm not going to say, oh my God, it's so hot and the sun is shining. And, in a couple of months, I'm going to be like, oh my God, where's the sun? Where's the long days? Already I can feel the days getting shorter. So it's a blessing. Thank you for this glorious day. Thank you for the beautiful day tomorrow. It's a mindset change. And it's not easy when you're in pain physically. Again, the brain. If we talk to the brain, we can change the chemistry. And there are studies on this. This is where I was kind of looking to Ben because he's Mr. Researcher guy. But it is true. If we change the narrative that we put out into the world and we put kindness about ourselves out into the world, into our own thoughts. So instead of saying, I'm such a piece of crap, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I get it, man, I did. It's like, don't even. I feel fabulous today. I look great today. I feel great today. Change it to the positive. And I'm not trying to be Pollyanna. It's really just changing the messaging so that we can feel that improvement. I'm glad you made it home safe, Echo. And so Echo's a perfect example. I watch her when I exercise. I forgot to say hello the other day. I was so busy. I have my little weights. Hold. I got my little weights. Echo. Boop, 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 boop. And it's even if you're tired, you still have to do it because you're doing the health of your body. And there are people that can't. So I totally get it. I respect people that say, look, I have a physical limitation. I'm tired. It's part of the reason why, I have so many people say, get a part-time job. I sleep maybe 2 hours a night. And then maybe I'll sleep a half hour. And then I'm up. And then maybe I'll get another half hour in. And maybe at the wee hours of the morning, I'll get more sleep. I'm working on that. My eyes will close at 3 o'clock or 2:30 if I don't do it myself. I have to rest my body. Otherwise, I'm going to have another heart event. I'm not ready to die right now. So, especially with my little boys, my little puppers. And so, right, oh, my little boy, he just cuddled. He just got a bad tummy ache. I just love this little boy. And I do Reiki on him, too, by the way. You can do Reiki on your puppers and your animals. And anyway, it's the narrative. And so I've done this before with Don Miguel Ruiz, right? Use your words wisely. If you say the negative becomes true. Changing it to the positive. I'm stronger today than yesterday. I'm stronger tomorrow. Everything you are inspiring and changing the chemistry in your brain. When I was so grief-stricken, there was no dopamine. There was no oxycodone. Oxycontin. No, oxytocin. There it is. There was no serotonin. Everything had been depleted. And there was no way for me to talk myself out of it because I didn't know to talk myself out of it. I was so grief stricken. I was so heartbroken. And at that time, I did want to go. I didn't want to stay anymore in this world. I didn't have a purpose. Nobody loved me. That's a dramatic statement because that's not true. And I didn't have anybody, which is also not true. But when you have that loss, you feel that emptiness. And it was wave after wave after wave that I finally just sort of let myself sink. And I was sitting at the bottom of this ocean of grief, not being able to breathe, not being able to move, not being able to claw to the surface. And boom, I had the heart event. That it's a conversation, but I didn't know enough. And at that point, I don't think I could have. I mean, I really did need to die. Um, and I've been watching a lot of NDEs. And not to make this sound funny, I won't say it. I was going to, no, never mind. I was going to say something that just is silly. I do wish that I had a remembrance of other experiences through the NDE, but I do remember people talking about me. I remember seeing the doctors in the room. I remember my best friend being there, though I couldn't see her. I knew she was there. Eventually, I knew my brother was there. And my other brother was, getting ready to get there. But it was, and then my father was there. But that was more of a consciousness coming out of sedation. Um, but the messaging that we do influences our survival. And that's why I wanted to talk about it this month. That's why I wanted to talk about the harvesting, if you will, of our attitude, because it literally means this archetype of integration, embodiment, bringing the physical and the energetic bodies into alignment. That's really what it means. And I think that if we don't slow down, stop and smell the roses, and really have an honest conversation with ourselves, we're going to miss the opportunity to change our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual experience here. Because it's not happening outside of us, it's happening inside. I believe the divine is within. I believe the presence of God, divineness, oneness, however you want to define it, is all around, but within. We are light, each of us. We're dimming that light by not treating this vessel almost holy, with reverence, with respect. It's got a lot of work to do. It's got a lot of years to go. And, eating Twinkies, although I really miss Twinkies, eating a Twinkie is not going to energize you. It's not going to give you nutrition. It might, for 5 seconds, tell your brain, yummy, it tastes good. And then you're hungry again. I know I'm using a very bad example, but it's for all of us to think, what have we been holding on to? And what are we avoiding? And those of us that avoid things, there's a message there. And I now ask myself, why? Why are you avoiding that? Why are you avoiding that conversation? Why are you avoiding cleaning? Why are you avoiding? What is that thing that's keeping you from moving forward? What have I been nurturing? Am I cooking healthy meals? I really wanted to do HelloFresh. It's completely out of my budget, but I've started to make really delicious meals. Now it takes planning. Okay, I don't have a job, so I can do this. It's the energy. And so I have to convince myself, positive self talk, you have the energy to cook that chicken. You have the energy to go to the kitchen and prepare meals. And my goal has been to create multiple meals, freeze them, and pull them out as I need them. Not brain surgery, not something new to my consciousness, but it does take an effort. And creating healthy meals on top of just creating meals. I want to be nourished and I want to take care of the vessel. The vessel, this one, needs a lot of caring. And it's not like I had an abusive life. I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker, I'm not a toker. Sorry, I was going to go down the song path again. But so those are not things that I was corrupted by or influenced by. Mine wasn't even really food. It was depression. And I used to judge, especially my poor mom. My mom was a knockout, a knockout. And even when she got heavy, I still thought she was the most beautiful woman. And I always prayed that I would look like her. I should have been more specific because I got the girth of her now versus I will never have her face. I am my father's daughter. This meatball face is all my dad. My heart is my mom. Excuse me, I got to be two-fisted again. But I also have to acknowledge I am who I am. I look like who I am. My inner beauty, my inner soul, my inner health, it's mine. Unless I had a personal chef, nobody else is going to cook for me. The puppies aren't going to cook for me. Their idea of treats is what everybody gives them on the street, which you have to stop eating. So it's what makes sense now for you and what needs to change. And seeing the truth and knowing the truth and then making the truth happen. It's on us. That's why I say in our words, what we say can change and alter our body, our minds, our spirit, our souls, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a professional in any sort, but I've been trying to understand, when I talk about the chakra system, when I talk about energies, when I talk about it, it's not contradictory to faith. Faith in God, faith in whatever it is you believe in. The universe, the goddess. It is about each area of our body fulfilling key elements of our life and telling us, they say, if everyone gather around a sick person and prays for their health, and that person is part of that prayer circle, there is a demonstrative change in their health for the better. Unless it is time to let someone pass and transition, they're still there with you in the prayer and they feel safe enough to then transition. I believe that was true of my mom. When we let her go, I would have prayed all day long if it meant keeping her, but not in the condition she was in. So the right thing to do for me was to give her permission and to let her know that all of us were going to be okay. And she could just rest now. And I was not with her intentionally at the end. She would not have gone if I was there. My brother was there, but I was not. And there are days I wish I had, and there are days that I know I wasn't supposed to be, because my emotions, I was so tied to her that letting her go was going to be harder if I actually was in the room. I was braver at a distance. But the clarity of you are loved, you are special, you are honored, you are healthy, and you are well is the message that we should reiterate to ourselves. I know it sounds corny. I know it sounds woo-woo. and hippy dippy, but it really isn't. When we look in the mirror and we say something negative about ourselves, you tell your brain something. We need to change that damn message to I am beautiful. Whose version of beauty are we trying to measure up to? And for what reason? I don't, it's something that I wish we could have understood when we were younger so that we felt comfortable now saying, this is it. This is my beauty. This is my beauty in here and my light. Sometimes it shines brighter than other times, but my goal is to walk in the light. And the only way you walk in the light is to have the dark. And we have to embrace that and shine the light to say, let me be your light. Let me be your strength. Let me be your encouragement. But you have to take the ownership of the doing. I can't do for you. Uh-oh. Some people call me the space cowboy. Yes. Oh, he's doing a song. Oh, Karen. Yeah, I'm sending you hearts, sister. I know it's not easy. This journey that we're on, this path, it's not easy. If you think about the chakra system, right? The solar plexus where our pancreas is, that's discernment. It's boundaries. It's our personal truth. If you think about the heart or thymus, this is where gratitude and emotional maturity, emotional being is. And then our third eye, which is our intuition. It's the pituitary gland, if you think about it, right? It's integration, it's intuitive insight. Um, and so when we activate these areas, when we give them space and love and compassion, we get to move forward with a little less crap in our backpack. You know what I'm saying? And I think the spiritual lesson is, again, I'm going to turn it into my garden, but whatever we've planted physically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, that's what we harvest. We harvest what we planted. We see the truth of our patterns and we try not to judge. And that's hard. And I just talked about this again today with a friend of mine who had stopped by. And I was aware I was doing this. I was very angry at someone who's hurting my friend. I understand where this person who's hurting my friend is coming from. He feels unworthy. He feels unloved. He doesn't do anything to make any of that different, by the way. I would not sit and have a conversation with him anymore because of how he talks to me. And I've drawn a line. I have boundaries. So I will not be verbally mistreated. And I understand it's not about me, but that doesn't mean I have to sit there and take it. But witnessing my friend go through this demise, witnessing my friend being extricated from her business and her friends because of his selfishness made me insane. And then I was like, that's not my journey to go on. I can be her witness. I can be her friend. If she asks me for my opinion, I can give it to her. But she's not asking because she knows. And she's choosing this, right? So we choose things. Yes. This is, there are people that choose their path and won't alter it because they don't like the unknown. They're comfortable with the known. I break often that, or I have in the past broken the unknown. What happens if I didn't marry that man that I was supposed to marry? Oh my God, I'm never going to amount to anything. And I did. What happens if? And I always stepped outside of that because I felt brave, irresponsibly brave or naively brave, or there was this something that said, I am woman, hear me roar. And I wanted to live that. Now, life events happen and they sort of kick you down a notch or two, and that's okay. I had to be knocked down in order for me to see bigger paths. But it also has narrowed me down this hallway where for many years I had no flexibility for other people's stuff. And I felt very judgmental on that stuff. And learning all of these things, that until you walk a mile in someone else's shoes, you can't know. So you can send them love and light, you can offer a kind word, but otherwise you have to step back. Because it's not, who the hell am I to tell you how you should interact with anyone? Who died and made me queen or God or somebody important? Well, I am important. I'm going to take that back. But it's not, my way isn't necessarily the right way. It is for me. But changing the words and changing the judgment, when we judge people, we have to turn around and look in the mirror and say, well, what about this is so incendiary for me? And it taps into that part of me being mistreated. And I'm like, no, I'm not being mistreated anymore. I have to let that go now. And I wouldn't allow that to happen to me now. I'm telling my body I'm safe. So using, whether you use Reiki energy, whether you use meditation, whether you use prayer, or all of the above, and this is one of Ben's favorites, but I listen to Chase Hughes a lot. And his perspective often, like, I feel a light bulb go off often when he speaks, because he's talking and it makes absolute sense. And it's so in your face right there. Why in the world wouldn't I have thought of that? And that's why I like conversations with you all. You all throw things to me or say things to me that, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me run with that. Let me think about that. My prayers are of gratitude these days. And it's not that I don't ask for anything, but I more thank God as if I've already received those blessings. Because I want to live a more positive life. And I could be a negative Nelly with the best of them. Get me started on a political conversation and I go down a rabbit hole that makes everybody insane. Get me started on conspiracy theories. Ay, 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 ay. Mamma mia. Get me talking about religion, not faith. Religion. I go banana cakes. Who did I just listen to the other day? He just had a NDE, and he has a book. I ordered it. And he is also of faith, and I don't know what faith, because he described it in a different way. And I thought, oh, that resonates with me. Because I don't subscribe or prescribe or whatever, cultify to a religion anymore. But that doesn't mean I don't have faith. It doesn't mean that I don't believe in God. The faith also has to emanate from within. I have faith I'm going to be healthy and well. That's why I sing that damn song every morning. It's in my head. It's stuck. And I think I've posted it. So I'll double check after this to see if I've posted it. But this guy, I don't even know how it got created, but it is, you want to hear the song? All right, Karen, give me a second because I think I can find it while I'm doing this. So let me, see. Oh, where am I typing? Apparently nowhere. There it is. Now, that's not the song though. Hang on. He's coming along, but where's the guy? Here. But he comes from, where's his group? And I know I've talked about doing this, but he does tapping as well. I'm not going to, that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I think this one. All right, can I copy this? Copy that link. Let me go to my page. Hold, I think I can do this, Karen. Oh, can I put it in the live? Well, it's this guy, and he does it through this health consortium. I posted a link in here. It's not the one that I initially heard, but it's the guy that has got me all singing the tune. But the tune is, every single cell inside my body, every single cell is happy and well. Every single cell inside my body, every single cell is happy and well. I'm so glad every single cell in my body is happy and well. And you just repeat that a couple of times. And you're like, okay, I'm grateful. I'm healthy and I'm well. And just for today, just for this moment, every single cell in my body is healthy and well. That's okay. And that's enough to get me through the moment or the pain or the anxiety or the stress. And that's why I did this dive into the human body. How is everything connected? How's it talking? How does my brain know what to work on first? I didn't know. And so it helps me to identify, okay, this is where I need to focus my energy. And this is why this is happening. Does that make me a medical professional? Does it make me extra knowledgeable? No. But when I was studying and I plugged into the world, I said, I need it on a simple level. Because all of these systems in my body, when I want to work on, the arteries for me, because that's what got torn in my heart. I want to focus positive energy when I do a meditation, a healing meditation, a guided meditation on my arteries, because it doesn't get sewed up. It's torn. It sort of weaves itself together, but now it's kind of like, Scotch tape when it's a little bit thin, and you could peel it and it could either tear or all come off all in one. If I get another tear, there may not be the opportunity to resuscitate and revive because it's broken. I have a kintsugi heart. It's glued back together, but only by sheer will. And that's where health comes in. That's where taking care of ourselves comes into play. So I'm not sure I'm going live on Thursday. I still haven't decided if I'm going live twice a week. I still have to figure out what is going on with Google, YouTube, kicking me out. I don't understand it, and I've spent hours today trying to figure it out. But puppy 1 and 2 need to go for their WALK. And if I say the word, they will jump up and not let me finish. But I am so glad that it meant something to you today, and Karen and anyone else listening that liked it. And please feel free to comment and give a thumbs up. It does help. It really does. Luca knows. I say a certain word and this dog is ready to go. So until next time. Oh, I'm pretty sure I won't be here Thursday. There's a concert in town that I want to go to. A friend of mine is performing Neil Diamond, and I'm a Neil Diamond fan. So I want to go see it. It's in our park. The dogs and I sit on the hill and we watch. So I send you with love, with light, with healing, with compassion, with joy, sprinkled with giggles and laughter. Thank you all so much for being here today. You know how much I love you guys and that it means so much that you take time out of your day to be here. So many blessings. Be well, and I will see you guys soon. Mwah! Bye, guys.